Welcome to the Dark Vault, where we bring you spine-chilling tales of horror, crime, and mystery. If you love stories that keep you awake at night, you're in the right place. Tonight, we venture into the abandoned corridors of Blackwood Asylum, a place where shadows whisper, walls remember, and no one truly leaves. This is the story of 4 YouTubers who dared to enter, and the horrifying truth they uncovered. Let's begin. Blackwood Asylum. Once a facility meant to help those deemed unfit for society, it became a place of torment, despair, and mystery. Patients subjected to experimental treatments, staff disappearing without a trace, and rumors of inhuman experiments. Decades later, it remains abandoned, decaying deep in the woods. But the legends, they've only grown. For 4 YouTubers, Jake, Melissa, Eric, and Sam, Blackwood Asylum was irresistible. Their channel, Haunted Horizons, thrived on exploring creepy, forbidden places. They'd filmed old hospitals, graveyards, and abandoned schools, always searching for the next thrill. And when they heard about Blackwood, they knew they had to go. But what awaited them was not content, it was terror. The sun was setting as their car pulled up to the overgrown path leading to the asylum. The building loomed in the distance, barely visible through the dense trees. Its jagged roofline and broken windows gave it the appearance of a beast waiting to strike. The air was unnaturally cold, and the forest was eerily silent. No birds, no rustling leaves, just nothing. Jake, always the bold one, grabbed his camera and started recording. Guys, this is it. Blackwood Asylum. We've read the stories, heard the warnings, but tonight we're going in, and we're not leaving until we uncover the truth. Melissa shivered, hugging her arms. Do we really have to do this at night? I mean, can't creepy abandoned asylums be scary in the daylight too? Eric chuckled, trying to mask his unease. Where's the fun in that? Besides, this place is perfect. Look at it. Sam adjusted his gear, glancing at the asylum's silhouette. It's definitely creepy. Let's just stick together, okay? No splitting up this time. Jake smirked. Come on, where's your sense of adventure? They approached the asylum, their flashlights barely cutting through the growing darkness. The front door, warped and rusted, stood slightly ajar. Jake pushed it open with a loud creak, the sound echoing into the stillness. The air inside was colder, carrying the smell of mildew and rot. Welcome to Blackwood Asylum, Jake said, sweeping his flashlight around. Home to misery, madness, and maybe a ghost or two. The first floor was a maze of empty hallways and decrepit rooms. Paint peeled from the walls in long, curling strips, and graffiti covered nearly every surface. A broken wheelchair sat abandoned in the middle of a corridor, its wheels squeaking faintly as if moved by an unseen hand. Melissa stopped to stare at it, unease tightening in her chest. Jake, did you see that move? She asked, her voice trembling. It's just the wind, Jake replied dismissively, though his eyes lingered on the chair a moment too long. As they ventured deeper, the group came across a massive mural scrawled across one wall. The words Tuan Bekik were painted in red, dripping like blood. Beneath it were smaller frantic messages. They're watching. Don't stay too long. It feeds. Melissa shook her head. Why do people feel the need to make creepy places even creepier? Eric frowned. What if they didn't? What if this was real? Jake rolled his eyes. Come on, man. It's just graffiti. Let's keep moving. After some debate, they decided to split up to cover more ground. Jake and Eric took the west wing, while Melissa and Sam explored the east. The West Wing was filled with remnants of the asylum's operations, rusting hospital beds, shattered glass vials, and faded patient files. Jake rifled through a stack of folders, narrating for the camera. These are patient records. Most of them don't have release dates. Just pages and pages of treatments and notes. This one says, patient 27. Violent tendencies. Unresponsive to therapy. Transferred to. He trailed off, frowning. Transferred to where? Eric asked. Jake flipped the page. It doesn't say. It just ends. A loud clang from the hallway made them both jump. Jake swung his flashlight around, but the corridor was empty. Probably just some old pipes, he muttered, though his voice lacked confidence. Eric wasn't so sure. Pipes don't sound like footsteps. In the east wing, Melissa and Sam found what appeared to be a therapy room. The air was heavier here, almost suffocating. A single chair sat in the center, its leather straps frayed, but still intact. The walls were lined with broken mirrors, each shard reflecting their distorted faces. "I don't like this," Melissa whispered. "It feels wrong." Sam nodded, his flashlight flickering. "Let's just grab some shots and get out of here." As Melissa raised her camera, a faint whisper filled the room. She froze, glancing at Sam. "Did you hear that?" "Hear what?" Sam asked, though his eyes darted nervously around the room. The whisper grew louder, more distinct, a voice soft and raspy, repeating the same phrase. "Why are you here?" The chair creaked, tilting forward, as if someone invisible had just sat down. Melissa screamed, grabbing Sam's arm. "We need to leave. Now." Before they could move, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The whispers turned into laughter, cold and mocking. Sam yanked on the handle, but it wouldn't budge. Just as panic set in, the door creaked open on its own, and the laughter stopped. The group reconvened in the main hall, all visibly shaken. Jake tried to maintain his composure, but the fear in his eyes was unmistakable. "We're leaving," he announced. "Now." They headed for the front door, but when they reached it, it was gone. In its place was a solid wall, as if the door had never existed. Panic spread through the group as they searched for another exit, but the asylum seemed to shift around them. Hallways stretched endlessly, doors led to nowhere, and the air grew colder with every passing moment. The whispers returned, louder and more aggressive. Shadows moved at the edges of their vision, tall, gaunt figures with glowing eyes. The intercom crackled to life, its distorted voice booming through the asylum. "Patients, return to your rooms." Jake and Eric ran toward the west wing, while Melissa and Sam sprinted in the opposite direction. The asylum seemed to come alive, doors slamming shut and walls closing in around them. Melissa stumbled into a room she didn't recognize. Blood dripped from the walls, forming words, KLPUS. A cold hand gripped her shoulder, and she turned to see a doctor in a blood-stained coat, his face hidden behind a cracked mask. His scalpel gleamed as he raised it toward her. Sam's screams echoed from somewhere deeper in the asylum. Eric's camera was later found abandoned, its final footage showing him being dragged into the shadows by unseen hands. Jake ended up in the therapy room, where the chair waited for him. The straps wrapped around him on their own as shadowy figures closed in, forcing him to watch as his camera moments. The next morning, their car was discovered at the edge of the woods. The friends, however, were never seen again. Weeks later, their footage mysteriously appeared on their YouTube channel, documenting their terrifying ordeal. To this day, no one knows how the video was uploaded, or by whom. Blackwood Asylum still stands, its doors open, waiting for the next visitors brave, or foolish, enough to enter. if you ever find yourself near its gates, remember this: some places were abandoned for a reason. And that was the story of Blackwood Asylum. What do you think happened to the 4 YouTubers? Was it the asylum itself that trapped them, or something far darker lurking in its shadows? Let us know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to The Dark Vault for more chilling tales every week. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you're notified the moment a new story drops. We'd love to hear your own scary experiences or horror stories. Email us at thedarkvault171@gmail.com, and we might feature your story in an upcoming video. And don't forget to tell us in the comments what topics you'd like us to cover next. Do you want urban legends, true crime, or more haunted locations like Blackwood Asylum? Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and remember, some doors are better left unopened. This is The Dark Vault, signing off.